Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very limited time um, session here. Just trying to get through a little bit of the main story. We haven't had much of a chance this week to do the main story because I've been exhausted, so we're going to just try to work through it today a little bit. Since the group is separated, I'm only with Geo today, so
Oh,
uh, yeah, we're going to see how that goes. So, the last thing that we left off with was Aroson's father was questioning
being
him.
being a jerk.
Well, yes, that's true. But the last thing you said you were working with a slatty and stuff like that, and he
Yeah.
was just about to ask you, like, what are you talking about? Like, he's already questioning you because you're working with these other creatures. Um, the manti that he doesn't really enjoy, and the fact that you're working with a species that is almost inherently evil. He's wondering what that's about. So he's sort of just giving you a weird look as soon as you say that. So what do you want to say?
Yeah, so I was go like, I don't like him much, but beggars can be choosers.
He goes, I know you're smarter than that. Must must realize my problem with that.
I do, and I don't like it either. But as I said, we can't be choosers if we get what we get. I mean, it's the hand I got dealt by life, and well, you can't say no to life.
He just face palms a little bit and then he looks at the manti who are currently standing in front of you. You were basically trying to tell him the whole story, and he basically interrupted you to voice his opposition to what you just said. And then he looks at the manti, and he goes to the one who can actually speak common, and he says, "So, what do you hope to offer?" And he's asking this again after he asked this before, and they just sort of look at him. The one that he's talking to just sort of tilts its head, confused, and looks at the others of his group, and then he sort of makes a little chittering noise to the other ones, and they chitter back, and he responds with, "Well, we can protect your camp." And he goes, "Fine, just don't get close to anybody." And he walks away. You were in the middle of telling him the story when he did that, also. So
Yeah, so
he just
Aroson,
walks away.
just grabs him by the back of his clothes and says, "We weren't done yet, because yeah, I really didn't like that Slatty from the start, and I really don't like him unless from what happened." So Airsoft keeps going from what happens the first time they teleported into the plane, plane of air, then into the
Yeah,
plane of fire.
yeah. And he continues walking back. So if you're going to talk to him, you're going to have to either physically stop him or follow him.
So just follows him as he's telling it all
So he just starts
until
walking
the
back.
very point they met up again.
Okay. So he goes over, and during the process, he sits down. The manti just start uh, actually relatively strategically place themselves around the camp, um, and so that way there's like an equal distance between them, stuff like that. And he goes, "Seems like you've had pretty good sure."
Yeah, I have had been on quite a journey.
He raises an eyebrow at you, and once he sees that the manti are actually cleared away far enough, he says, "Realize these manti are part of the anti-government, right?"
Yeah, I know. And the one currently ruling I don't like as well, because he's kind of jerk.
You're talking about the one that can talk to you?
No, the one about how I'm talking about Howler.
Oh, well, he's talking about the manti.
Ah,
The manti that you brought with you. They're part of an anti-government group.
yeah. Well, I guess they can. Like I said, beggars can be choosers, and well, we have to work together to survive.
We five say, what is your plan then? To work with them still? They wouldn't want to establish a means of government. I can hear them talking. Apparently,
Well,
you can understand their language, and you aren't aware of this.
well, if you explain to them what's going on and what the best course of action is, then we could have kind of come to the middle ground until this very crisis is over. That then things can go back to normal. Because now things need to be put on the back burner, like all the grudges need to be put behind us, and so on, to actually survive this all.
He listens to what you're saying, and he's genuinely listening. Um, However, he sort of ignores what you just said, and he says, "So when everything's over, we just expect them to go on their way."
Well, not instantly. I mean, we do need to rebuild some stuff. We do need the help from each other. And then when back things are back to normal, then well, I guess we can send them off because it wouldn't be
Who's
fair if
going
you
to
were.
lead this effort? They don't believe in leaders or leadership.
Well, they seem to follow
No matter
me.
what, they're going to oppose.
Well, they have seemed to be following me. They seem to take up on my suggestions. Well, actually, kind of just jump on the suggestions without me totally explaining what the suggestion is. But still, they're taking up on it and not rejected
Like
them so
you
far.
said, they're trying to survive. Sure. So they didn't know where they were. Um, I can look over them, not trying to let them in on the fact that I know they're safe. However, they you should have heard them. They were saying that face looks stupid and stuff like that while we weren't talking to them.
Well, okay, that's kind of worrying, but still, they do need to realize that the current world is really not very suitable to have arguments and have people at each other's throat currently.
It's true. If they figure out a plan, they're probably going to try to do something about us. See it.
Yeah. Just, well, if you at least can get them, try and get them to understand that the world isn't currently in total balance and that every action against the, well, let's say, survivors, so to say, as unchanged,
He, he motions
against
for
each
you to
other would
stop.
be bad idea.
He motions for you to stop talking for a second. And he says, "Alright. I can see that you're very opposed to me, thinking that I'm being racist or whatnot. That's fine. However, I'm going to reveal to you something that I haven't told you. These things appeared about 500 years ago, and I was about 200 years ago. And me being a curious type, who inherited that, I investigated their culture, tried to see where they came from, their origins. I never figured that out. Never got that far. However, I did stay around them and attempt to learn their language. And that was when I realized just how dangerous they are. People are afraid of them. They're very dangerous, as you no doubt encountered. Fought them, I assume.
Well, these are actually the first group I actually encountered of them.
Well, yes, but they were covered in shadow, weren't they? That's why they're so confused.
Yeah, that's well, but still the first group that I ever encountered of them covered in shadow or not.
But you saw how they fought. They were quite dangerous.
Yeah, they were.
So even the relative civilians among them are quite powerful. Their appendages are quite strong. They can cut through metal like it would butter. It's not a good situation. Not only are they dangerous in that they're a lot like us. They can be evil or good. So their inherent danger is not the only one. People are mistrusting of them, and as a result, they get angry, mistrusting of others. They very easily attack. So they live in the wastes. They live out in the wilderness. They live far away from regular people usually. And as long as they're doing that, that is the good thing. The one said that they lived in the desert. Probably lived near a large city in the desert called Gaio. Seems like I heard them correctly. I have been keeping them on.
You'll speak up a little bit because you're just soft enough that you're just breaking up and not hearable, and some parts are hearable.
Okay. So he's saying that he's keeping it. He kept up on their culture, and these ones lived in the desert. So they probably lived near the desert town of Gaio. And he heard them use what I was about to say is, I heard them use a word, which, if the translation is correct, translates to. Translation is correct. Victory burns. This is a very, very dangerous group. They attempt to take over towns, basically bandits that attempt to take places over. They basically rule through brute force.
Then I wish them good luck with this town.
Option you, but to trust them so easily. But as I've been saying, most of their culture is like, not many of them are like you, curious and want to learn. There are some, not many. Which is why as soon as I saw them, I was wary. And when I approached, they spoke of different things. You couldn't understand them, obviously. I studied them for a while. I know what they're saying. They do seem confused, however. Probably the only reason why they haven't tried to subjugate us.
Well, I also did explain to them what is kind of going on to the world currently.
And he leans in close, and he says, "You're familiar with the best way to describe it is uneducated." And he goes into thinking of a proper word. And he's basically
Well,
trying to describe rednecks in this world.
yeah, uneducated people that aren't very knowledgeable and, well,
Yeah, he's basically trying to put across that they're not interested in getting more educated, basically. Um, Imagine if, like, American redneck, hoedown, like, um, um, small town folk just took over a town, and then they realized they were powerful, so then they could just take over a bunch of other people. That's basically what he's trying to describe. These creatures, they purposely don't try to follow knowledge, and if somebody's trying to teach them something, they just see that as something that they're not interested in and will ignore what you're trying to talk about. And they can be they're very violent and want to take over things. So he's not sure how to deal with them, and he was viewing the way that he dealt with them in an appropriate way. Like,
well,
basically pushing them off to the side, not allowing them to get close to this.
well, if that's all true, and so I don't know if they're good or bad. But the thing is that they've kind of been helping us a lot. So perhaps it's a ruse, as you said. But for now, everything seems fine. So I guess we should use it while we can and get toward. A question: have you been towards the sea?
You're
No.
asking if he went towards the Aquan Sea shoreline?
Yeah.
He goes, well, we've been exploring for quite a while, trying to find survivors. Fortunately, around here, not many people were taken. And it seems as though the shadow creatures are attempting to figure out a way to take us back or deal with us permanently. And the fact that we're keeping them at bay for so long seems like it's annoying. Sending scouts to try to find us. Apparently, there are winged creatures that are carrying them away every time we try to chase them.
Yeah. I spotted one of those.
That's not good.
Yeah, I kinda thought it was someone of your group, or perhaps you, so you know.
He sighs, and then he begins to look up. Actually, I'm not going to roll for him. I can do that, so it's up evidence. He's going
So, just for your knowledge of time, in how many minutes do you need to? When do you need to leave? Actually, in when we were about to start, you said in an hour.
Okay, so we've been going for about 15 minutes, so I got 45 minutes.
Okay, just checking for you.
Thank you. Here we go. We'll start launching. It's going to take half a minute. So he's basically looking up in the sky to see if he can basically look for something in the sky. This roller has appeared. Okay. So he looks up and he goes. And then he just looks at you and he says, "You ready?" And he very nonchalantly takes out a longbow draws an arrow. He's just sort of looking down at you, sort of like making it not obvious to something that would be above him that he's drawing a weapon. And he just quickly turns around and fires the arrow. Let's see.
Well, that's way silent than my thundering cannon. I think it hits.
Yeah, he does hit. You
With a net?
notice the direction that he is aiming at as you follow the arrow. And you see what looks like a flying creature carrying a humanoid creature about 100 feet up in the air. Apparently you've been followed. And he just shoots the flying creature. Let's see how much damage he does.
Eight.
Really bad damage.
Yeah, that's bad on 2d10. Wow.
Okay, so he hits it. However, he just grazes its wing, and it sort of stumbles a little bit and falls a little bit down more, and continues flying. And it's about to start flying away when he's going to attack.
Take aim. And unleash the pain.
He's going to attack.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
15 hits.
Yeah,
So
15.
he's going to attack again. So before your attack.
Okay. Wow.
Better than one better. And the bird-like creature starts faltering down towards the ground a little bit. So you can attack them.
Yeah.
25 hits.
Yeah, that definitely hits. And this is one of my stronger attacks. Yeah, I think it's pretty dead.
Alright, so the creature's wing, suddenly you can't see it anymore, and then you look down a little bit from it, and its wing is falling, as it is now falling. It's about 100 feet up. So the fact that the bird-like creature is taken care of, the humanoid creature is in deep danger because it has to survive 10d6.
Oh god. There's a death sentence. Or at least a broken leg.
Okay. 32. You see it fall, and then you hear, and then you see something moving in the distance. It's probably still alive and trying to get away.
Steam train DT on to the murder age.
So you only get one shot per turn, right?
Yep. So now it's reload time, so DT is already heading out, going after the target.
Okay. So it's trying to run away. And
Can it? I don't think it can get away if DT starts running. Then he has 100 feet of movement.
Okay. Yes, but first it's its turn, so it has a chance to try to do something. So he is going to hear a noise coming from the direction of it. You hear coming from the direction of the human. And it starts running away full time. So then it is your turn or your father's turn.
DT, I mean, we still have him.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm going to say that you were stationary because you thought you were going to kill it. So then I'm going to say that he'll act on your next turn.
Okay.
So, he is going to take one. Definitely, perhaps there's rock in the way or something, but he's aiming with his longbow and he's not coming into purchase with it. So he's just hitting the ground or hitting nearby it. He goes, don't let it get away.
So Aroson sends DT and then takes aim again.
Okay. He's about, since you moved 100 feet.
Yeah, he can, if he runs, that is.
Yeah, if you move 100 feet, you're about 40 feet away from it.
That's so, I guess I'm going to come along with DT, and while he's running, I'm going to take a shot at it.
Okay.
Here goes nothing. That hits. That's 22 damage.
54 damage. And as a result, it falls to the ground. Unmoving.
What did he say?
It fell to the ground unmoving.
Okay, so still going after it to see if we can get any info out of it. The person.
Right. As you're going towards it, you notice the winged creature wing a little distance away. You see this black substance begin to evaporate into the air, and its wing over there vanishes. However, the wing is starting to reapparate at its current location. So, you have a feeling that it's being restored. And the other creature that was the scout creature is further along. Do you want to wait at this bird-like creature, or do you want to just go to the other one?
Well, DT can pick it up and then go towards the other one as well.
Okay, sure. I mean, you can do that, but I was just wondering, since it was there. So, he grabs the other bird-like creature. It appears to be a pretty big bird. It doesn't appear to be like humanoid or anything. Like, it doesn't have like a human body, like a harpy or anything like that. It looks like a big bird. And as you're approaching the other guy, you make a perception.
Perception. That's a 4. No, that's not a 14. It didn't roll yet. Okay, let's see. Oh, there it goes. Finally, 22. Oh, 22. I mean 12. My bad.
Might just be taking a little while. But that's 12. Yeah, you approach. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 12. You approach the. You don't notice anything. You approach the creature. He's currently laying on the ground. You're about 10 feet away. Do you want to keep approaching?
I do keep my distance and nudge it with my gun like, still alive.
Alright, as you approach it, you hear a and the creature is going to attempt to grab the body.
Grab the what?
He grabs the body. So, a shadow-covered bird-like creature swoops down that you didn't notice, grabs onto the body, and starts flying up. Unfortunately for it, it did go into your melee range. So if you have a melee weapon, you can attempt to hit it.
I'm beside DT, so he just looks at it and just wings out. Yeah, that hits.
Or
14.
The creature is still up, so you can attack it if you wish. You have a melee weapon. Attack.
I do have a melee weapon. Let's see, what's my teeny tiny melee weapon? Let's see, where did I leave it? Oh, here it is, my teeny tiny melee weapon of a light hammer. Because it's hammer time.
No. You swing
Even
at
with
it.
13.
You swing at it, and you almost fall, and you let go of the hammer onto the ground. So the hammer is no longer in your possession.
Okay.
So the creature swoops up into the air about 20 feet after that. So you still have a chance to attack it.
Reload, and well, time for it to suffer. Let's see, where's the right one to clickety click. Some things I still have to set right, but this is one I'm sure that is right, so here goes. Time to eat more lightning than before. 17.
17 does.
And that's 32.
Okay, this creature is just barely still up. But it's still going to try to fly away. It's 20 feet in the air. Does DT have anything that can reach it?
Well, he is quite a tall thing, but I guess he can try and swing at it because he has a reach of 5 feet. But I don't think he can jump, I guess.
You can try. I'll say an acrobatics check.
Which, let me see, acrobatics is a dex. 19.
He manages to reach high enough to have an attempt to swipe at it.
Well, swipe. 13.
13 misses.
Nope, that's it. Well, I could do
fighting a flying creature.
Yeah, so that's all he can do.
Okay. Flies another 20 feet forward and another 30 feet up.
So Aroson just watches it and sighs, that guy's gonna be dead when he hits the ground. Well, not my bad, I guess, I think.
And as it's flying up, just before you attack, you notice the bird sort of goes and just sort of pukes up some black stuff onto the land. So you notice that happen. Right, 17 does hit the flying creature.
For a total of 25.
Okay, it falls to the ground. And he also falls to the ground. However, he wasn't in a recovered state, so he just goes back to his shadow dying state. And he falls back to the ground.
Yeah, the shadow instantly dissipating, I guess, after the 50-foot drop.
And you notice in DT's hand, the other creature starting to rouse. Looks like I said, a giant bird. It's light enough for him to pick up, but it's still pretty big. You would hazard to guess that 3 DT lengths would be its wingspan. So its wings are quite wide. But the bird itself is a lot smaller. Holds its wings.
So yeah, as soon as it starts waking up, right, Aroson orders it to put the bird down.
He puts it down. You look at it, and now that the shadow's gone, it's covered in multicolored feathers. reds and blues and purples, mostly. Um, and its head is bright red. Beak is a bit of a darker color.
Would I know what it is?
You can attempt to with a nature check.
Nature. Where did I leave you? There you are. That's net 20.
Okay, these creatures, I didn't have the set pulled up in front of me, but I knew what it was. Pull that up.
Do you have the name? Because then I can.
I just want to make sure that I'm saying it correctly. Okay, it is a rock. Aroson.
Cool. Yeah.
These ones, however, this one that you encountered is a baby, not fully grown, because rocks, ROC, these creatures can grow to be gargantuan in size.
Yeah. And these are demons. Correct?
They're monstrosities.
A monstrosity. So it's not a V-Rock.
It says RO. In my book, it says that they're monstrosities.
Okay. Let me see if I have everything on the right page. Just checking if I.
Page in the monster manual is 260. I'm giving you that because you got a natural one.
50. Let's see. Page 200 and what? You said?
60. 60.
16. Okay.
6.
Oh. 260.
Yes.
Okay. Well, since it's a lovely big PDF, it's gonna take a while. So I'm going on your description of being in a monstrosity.
Yes.
So we'll see it later.
And they have really good sight perception. In fact, they have an ability called keen sight, which gives them advantage. And their passive perception is 14. It is quite high for even a beast or anything like that.
Yeah. So
technically, these creatures, because they're monstrosities, it means that they're somehow deformed by magic in their lineage. So, yeah, they're technically of a magic lineage in their heritage.
Yeah. So DT just slowly and carefully pets the small bird.
It could
giant
stand
head.
to be about half the height of DT, and its wings are about 3 or 4 DTs long, from tip to tip. So you imagine that this creature, if it were fully grown, would be quite huge. So, from what you see, this thing looks almost like a hatchling. But it's able to fly. So, that's not a good sign. They're unaligned, so it's not like they're naturally evil or anything. They can be tamed, though it's extraordinarily hard to do so.
I can imagine.
So it starts to wake up, and it gets into a standing position, and it folds its wings to its sides, and it sort of looks at DT and just sort of caws at him loudly.
DT just, well, does his thing, just watches it, and, well, his sensors adjusting to it, trying to see what it wants, because can't understand it, of course. And neither can Aroson.
Yes. And it sort of just starts walking away and then flaps its wings and starts to fly.
Well, that's at least one thing that's saved again. Let's see for how long. And then Aroson starts making his way over with DT towards where the scout fell the second time.
Okay. You can tell that, continuing from your natural 20, the other bird creature is another rock. And it's slightly larger than the other one, but still, based on its size, it's a very, very young bird. And the humanoid is still recovering. He has like a hood over his head, and he has like a cloak covering the rest of his body. See that it's wearing some sort of weird footwear, perhaps. I'm not sure. It doesn't really look like a foot, but it's mostly obscured by the cloak at the moment. And it seems to be possibly wearing gloves, because you don't see properly formed hands, but it's, again, covered by cloak, so you can't see it fully.
Well,
you can go up and
DT,
investigate it.
yeah. Go on.
You can go up and investigate it.
Yeah, well, first things first, DT just grabs it, making sure that nothing else can pick it up and fly off with it.
You have a feeling that when it made that noise while it was running away, it was calling the other one. Which is why the other one got there.
Yeah.
Tried to take it away. So, you're not sure what this thing is, but you pick it up, or DT does.
So in one hand, then Aroson tells, remove the cloak on his head. Let's see what or who or, well, mostly what this person thing is. So DT reaches carefully over and just, like a banana peel, slowly takes the cloak and pulls it back.
Okay. He starts pulling it back, and as the shadow is evaporating from it, you notice that the cloak is entirely made of shadow substance. And the cloak starts to evaporate away. And the creature itself, we're going to get you to roll a nature check before I describe it.
Okay, let's see if... 19.
Okay. So, as the cloak begins to evaporate away in DT's hands, because he just sort of took it on, the creature itself has strange horns that curl around its ears 2 or 3 times. Look almost like ram's horns. The head is humanoid otherwise. The body strangely has fur covering it. In the hands, there's 2. It looks as if a human had these 2 and these 2 fingers fused. So it has like 2 really large fingers and 1 regular sized thumb. And its feet are strangely, they look like they have hooves on them. And the whole body, except for the head, is covered in thick, hairy-like fur. and it just sort of lays there. With a 19, there's a few species it could be. Could be a fey creature. Um, could be like a satyr, or it could be uh, a devil or demon of some sort.
A
Uh,
very fluffy one.
yeah. Sometimes the thing that indicates that is that it has horns, and some demons have horns, and some demons have cloven hooves, um, which this has. So it might be that, but you're not entirely sure. It's in the range of something strange like that.
Yeah, so Aroson
Though
just watch.
you
Yeah.
do know that satyrs usually are very adept at playing instruments. So having two or only two fingers, that would be hard to do with only two fingers.
Yeah. So Aroson just watch DT. Let's go back to the rest and, well, see what they can make of it.
So you're going to take the creature back with you.
Yeah. And the bird, the knocked out bird, until it wakes up, then DT puts it down again and, well, let's go off again.
Okay. As you start to bring the bird back, it starts to wake up.
Yeah, DT just puts it down, pets it, and then, well, goes on again.
Okay. It gets up and it has a very similar reaction to the other one, and it just sort of flies off in a different direction. And you get back to the group, and there you have the creature. You sort of just place it down next to the camp. The humanoid-looking creature. You're not sure if that's what it's classed as, but it has humanoid features, so that's what you're going with for now.
Yeah, so I've just watched both. So I've watched both his parents. It goes like, any idea what this is? Cause I can come up with several things, but it is not screaming demon.
Her mother walks over, kneels down next to it. She goes, and your father walks over and goes, probably the work of the humans. And that's all they say, unless if you inquire further.
Any way want to inform me? Cause I'm quite curious. Curious.
Your mother just walks over and starts cradling the head of her, and starts patting the head of the creature, like where the hair would be normally, but this creature is bald. And starts petting it softly, and she goes, "This isn't an existent creature. This is, at least as far as we know, this is
Ooh.
something new."
Well, let's hope it's actually, well, not to be any judging. Hope it's smart, can talk and such.
She goes, "If it awakens, perhaps."
Well, I can help with that.
If you wish, but I will warn you, it may be deranged.
So I was just about to touch it when she says he stops like, wouldn't it be smart to tie it up or let DT hold on to it?
Well, whatever you wish. We'll just say what I've been able to gather.
Well, it might panic, so
Yes, that's true. So you can continue doing that. I'll just explain what I've been able to gather for information on these things. Most of the scouts that we've encountered in this area have been strange. If we manage to defeat one, Never looks normal, let's say. Um, this one kind of looks like a satyr. Looks like a demon. Perhaps there were infernal experiments on satyr, or perhaps Fae-like experiments on a demon. I don't know.
So you said you had you found several others, but they never looked normal. Where are they now? Are they, well, I expect you to take them with you towards, well, there's one of the survivors, but I don't see any like this, well,
She
not
nods.
like this one.
She nods and she says, "That's why I warned you about them being deranged. They didn't come with us.
Hmm, okay,
Some
well,
of them didn't recover. They attempted to breathe, and perhaps they needed water to breathe, and they died soon after. We aren't
well,
sure. But like I said, they looked strange, and here's what I mean. One of them had tentacles for arms, octopus tentacles to be exact. And that was one of the ones that attempted to speak. It seemed like it couldn't get any air, and then it died fairly quickly.
yeah, that would have been, yeah, it would have been handy if I were there with my deacons.
Yes, but this creature may have fiddled around with its insides, so it might not recover.
Let's see if I can actually. Oh god, I don't have a very high medicine, but let's try what I can do. A 20. Not a natural 20, but still a 20.
Alright, so you start looking at it, and if you wouldn't have gotten a 20, I'll just say if you would have gotten less than a 20, you wouldn't get hardly any of this information. This creature, like, in this world, in our world, when people come up with aliens, they sort of base them on, most of the time, like real creatures that exist. Like they have octopus tentacles, uh, just an amalgamation of different creatures, that sort of thing. That's what this looks like. If an alien existed in this universe, which you're not sure if they do or not, that's what this thing looks like. Something that just has nothing to do with the ecology and everything. You looking at its pectoral muscles, or where its pectoral muscles should be, and instead it has abdominal muscle. It's all abdominal muscle. Six pack, except it goes all the way down the front of the chest. Because you're sort of looking through the fur, and you see that the pectoral muscles are not there. Just sort of a long string of abdominal muscles. And you get curious, so then you start looking at its back. Its back is the same way, except its spine sticks out through a bunch of abdominal muscles on its back. Its arms are very, very strange. You would assume if it were to do a handstand, its arms would be digigrate. It has like joints in weird spots, kind of like a dog's leg, hind leg, that is. And it has three really weird looking fingers. If your mother's assumptions are correct, this is a very, very strange experiment. Somebody did.
Yeah, but would it survive if I were to like wake it up right now?
You're not sure. Based on that medicine check, you know that in order to know for sure if it was going to survive, you would have to cut it open to see what its insides look like. If its outside looks so strange.
So, well, I guess I would, well, with a 20, I would know how to find the pulse. I guess there would,
All right,
if there would
you
be one.
start putting your fingers near the neck, and you notice that its neck has extremely weird feeling muscles in it, and you do feel something. You're not sure if it's a pulse or not. Because
Let's
this
see if I,
creature is so alien. Um, it, you're not sure if it's a pulse, but you do feel something.
well, here goes nothing.
Right?
So first I let DT, well, hold it so that it can, like, kick around or just, like, get
All right,
away.
he automatically succeeds a grapple for now.
Yeah. He doesn't, like, hold it tight, but just strong enough that it can't get away.
Okay, yeah, he succeeded a grapple mechanically. So it has to
So,
escape a grapple in order to move.
yeah. So here it goes. Let's see how much hit points I give it back. I give it 8 plus 6 is a total of 14.
Okay. It recovers. Its eyes start to revolve open. And you look at its eyes. Its eyes are strange as well. Um, Instead of like a cat-like pupil, it looks reminiscent of that. However, it seems like it has another cat's pupil intersecting it. So it has like a cross-shaped pupil. Um, and it's slitted on both sides like a cat's eye. And it's sort of just lolls awake and starts looking around. And then it sort of just lays back as if it's weak. And then it starts to raise its head and looks at something is restraining it. And then it slowly, out over the course of like 10 seconds, face starts to turn angry. So I'll allow you to do something.
So it goes like, easy now, easy now.
It
Just
looks up at you as soon as you start talking, and it just looks furious.
easy now. This is my robot friend. He was just holding you just to make sure that you wouldn't, like, run instantly away once we helped you awake. So DT, put him down gently.
And it sort of just wiggles against his hands as he starts to put it down. And as it does, what languages do you understand?
Oh, let me throw that into the chat. I know quite a few. Just 3.
All right. Um, I'll say that based on how it speaks, you're getting Sylvan words, but then it throws in random stuff that you're not sure you understand.
So Aroson looks at both his parents and says, I do get some of it, but not all. You guys any help?
Okay, so before that, you hear a string of words that I'm going to do. You hear, push, let go, leave, push, kara. And as soon as DT lets it go, it looks towards everybody that's around it, and then it's going to start trying to run away.
DT is just going to be like, with one hand, just stop it right in front, like going, trying to get it to see that we're not enemies, or just trying to help it.
Oh. So it's going to resist DT. Going to roll its highest stats. Alright, you have to roll athletics to hold in DT.
Okay, athletics.
Alright, it manages to get out of his grasp, and it runs 50 feet.
Oh boy. So Aroson looks at his parents. Did you get what he said? Because it seems like he wanted just to get away. He was confused, didn't know what's going on. It was confused, wasn't it?
The your mother and your father both respond because they understand Sylvan. Um,
I do as well. I have
and
Sullivan in there.
and your mother also understands second language. That's it. And she says, "It's sort of confusing, but I did understand what it was saying, but you might want to stop it."
Oh boy. ET,
And
you hear her?
as you look towards it, you notice that its back is able to, it's sort of just wiggling abnormally, its body. It looks almost as if its entire torso were a tentacle. So it's just moving itself just very fluidly. Like as it runs, it sort of like flops back, and then it tries to straighten itself and flops forward. Seems almost as if it's disoriented in how to move its own body.
Oh boy, this is bad.
Um,
ET, you know what you need to do? You know, DT is just going after it, not harming it, but just trying to constantly be like, come on, get here. Damn, soap, stand still.
all right, so you get within melee range of it. You had to move 50 feet to get it. So
Yeah, I said DT goes after
yes,
it.
ET. Is his movement 50?
Yes, his movement is 50.
Okay. I just wasn't thinking of that. Okay, so he can reach it in one movement.
Yeah. And then while he's trying to grab it with his highest stat this time, which is athletics. No, not athletics, but they say that's acrobatics. So that's actually dex roll from him, since he doesn't have acrobatics, but say the dex. Yeah.
To roll against you, which means it has to get a natural 1 to fail. Which it does not. It manages to slip out of his grasp, and it's just wiggling all over the place, strangely and abnormally. And DT has a hard time grabbing onto it. However, he is within melee range of it, so I'll say that you get a chance to grapple as it tries to run. And what it does, it tries to run away.
Yeah, he's just going to try and grab it. Just try and grab a hold of it. Let's see if it can actually grab it.
Okay.
A 16. That's make it possible. It is.
Alright, so you manage to grab onto it, or DT manages to grab onto it. And this time, he's not fooling around. He has one hand around its legs and another hand around its torso. And he's just walking back, holding it like this.
You're like, you're not going anywhere this time, wriggly thing.
Alright, so he manages to bring it back. However, it is still going to resist. So one resist roll. He rolled a 20.
I don't think I can make that.
Okay. So it manages
But
to
let's
wiggle
see.
free.
No, I can't. I need to roll natural to actually get that.
Okay, you can roll to see if you get a natural 20.
No.
So it manages to get free. And runs away 50 feet again. And it goes, leave! Yes, please. Go!
So
As it
Aroson,
runs away.
yeah, Aroson just does it sort of we're here to help. We want to get you safe.
All right.
Hoping it can understand.
As you say that, make a You make a persuasion.
Persuasion. Persuasion. 8.
It doesn't seem either it didn't understand you, or it didn't care what you were talking about. It just continues running.
So yeah, DT is then instantly going after him again.
Okay. DT, another grapple.
Oh, come on. That's a 9.
That's a 17. It manages to slip away again. However, I'll say that if you want to say something to it again, you can attempt it. However,
We're trying
I'll
to get
say
to
that
state.
I'll say that
Yeah.
if you say the same thing again, it'll be a disadvantage. Any persuasion.
Yeah, so Aroson says, the world isn't safe. You're basically walking into danger.
Okay, make another persuasion.
Persuasion. Natural.
Alright. As soon as it hears that there's danger nearby, it sort of stops and it sort of tries to turn around, but its body like folds in half almost, and its head is laying on the ground, and then it tries to right itself again. And it sees DT coming. Do you tell him to stop?
Yeah, DT just stops because it can understand why it stops. Because DT can understand what I am saying. It can understand all my languages, I say.
Okay.
So it can assess that the creature stopped because I said something that it found reasonable. So as the creature is trying to get itself straight, DT just sticks out one finger and just helps it slowly straighten back up.
Okay. Its hands, its arms that have weird sort of joints, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Weird sort of joints, and it unfolds in an unnatural way. Its weird, malformed hand grabs onto it and pulls itself forward and says, "Ugh. How do I flesh?" You don't understand what it said.
Yeah, so Aroson just looks at his mother and goes like, "Did you get that?"
Speaking to you. And she approaches towards it. And she sort of...
I maybe can do something to help it, but I don't think it will. Let me just show you what I can do.
Okay.
I'm guessing this might help, but I heavily doubt it.
So you cast that on the creature?
No, I think as if it's something is wrong, like one of those affliction, that it might help, but I heavily doubt that there's one of those afflictions going on right now.
You don't know just inherently. You have to roll a medicine check.
Yeah.
See if that one works. And if you get low enough, you would not know if it would work. So you can just try casting it, but you're not sure if it's going to.
Yeah. So DT is holding it in kind of like a child seat, so a finger front so that it doesn't fall over, finger in back so that it doesn't fall back, and like holding it so that it's like sitting in his hand.
Okay.
And so that it can fall to the sides as well, just making sure that it can't fold in on itself.
Okay. So it starts walking back. Your mother approaches it and sort of just gently starts trying to touch its cheek. And as she does so, it sort of is... It looks like it's trying to do two different things. Like, at one moment, it's sort of trying to lash out and bite, and then the next second, it pulls its head away. And it's almost as if it's fighting two different mindsets, almost. And she starts speaking to it in a mix of both languages to hope that it works. And you hardly understand what she's saying, but you assume that she's trying to calm it down.
So Elsa just stands there and goes for a moment. Does someone know the calm emotion spell?
She shakes her head really bad.
No, he asks if someone in the group perhaps knows it.
They're civilians with no magic. So they all shake their head.
So then he looks at his father. I guess you don't know it as well.
He shakes his head. He's a martial warrior. Uh, he's good with a bow and he's good with a sword, but he doesn't really know magic. He saved most of his mind space for learning languages and learning, like, just intellectual knowledge other than magic. So he isn't intent on learning spells. He has no innate abilities, so he doesn't have any. Your mother doesn't know that kind of spellcraft. Apparently, you're just learning that she has some sort of weird anime samurai abilities, apparently. So you're not sure if she has a
Ooh, I think we passed our time by 10 minutes.
Yes, we actually do. I have to go. So
Yeah. I was like, what time is it? I looked down like 10 past half. Great. So
okay.
yeah.
So yeah, I have to get going. So
Yeah, so